So as I mentioned in another video, a few weeks ago, I was trying to figure out my body mass index. And so I look it up, I Google it, and it gives me a formula. And it was given to me, I had to know my weight in kilograms and my height in meters. And so I had to do the conversions and look that up and stuff. But it turns out, like, if we use the principles that we've been talking about in this section, we can figure out that constant of proportionality, and then we can have our formula in terms of pounds and inches, which is something we're more familiar with in the United States, since usually, my scale gives me my weight in pounds and stuff. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. It says a person's body mass index, so the BMI, we'll just use B, varies directly as their weight in pounds. So W, whoops, I gotta have a K, right? KW, and inversely as the square of their height. So over the height squared. So I'm making up these variables, and I might want to indicate, okay, B is representing the body mass index, W is representing the weight, and then height is being represented by H, and that is in inches. So we're going to have to remember that. Now, when I was doing my problem, I missed the word square, and so my answers kept coming way off, and I was getting frustrated. But then I'm like, oh, there's a square there. So, all right. And this example that we have here is not me, so somebody else, somebody much taller than me. Okay, it says there's our model. Okay, so we have that, and now they're going to give us a person's height and weight and the BMI, so we can figure out what K is. Okay, now that 5 foot 10 inches, we have to get that in inches. So 5 feet is 60 inches, right? And then add the 10. So 70 inches is what our example is going to be using for the height. So we know the BMI, 28.7, which I think they rounded off, but that's okay for what we're doing. K, and the weight was 200 pounds. And then the height was 70 inches squared. So we need to solve for K. Now, one way we could do this, we could say 28.7 times 70 squared equals 200K. So that'd be one thing, just, use it like a proportion, multiply both sides by the LCD, and then divide both sides by 200. And so I'm going to get K equals, now this right here, I can put that in a calculator. So let me grab my calculator. 28.7 times 70 squared. And I'm going to divide that by 200. And I get 703.15. And I'm not going to round off. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that decimal there. Okay, so now I come up here and I know what K is. So if I want to figure out the body mass index, I'm going to take 703.15 times the weight and divide it by the height squared. Remember, that height has to be in inches. Okay, so now my problem says, what is the BMI of a 5'5" person weighing 165 pounds? Okay, so how many inches is 5'5"? Well, it's going to be 65 inches. So I need to know that for my height. So H is going to be 65. And I'm trying to figure out that body mass index. 703.15 times the weight, which was 165. And I'm going to divide that by 65 squared. Remember, I've got to square that or I'm going to get some crazy number. So I'm back to my calculator. 703.15 times 165. Divided by, and then I'm going to go 65 squared, and I'm getting a BMI of about 27.46, and then there's more, but I'm just going to go 2 decimal places on that. So that would be the body mass index. So there you go.